Okay, I guess what would be one of the most important things that an athlete should know, and I guess coaches wish that they would know before they would come see them, is kind of a knowledge base of how to be successful, how people become successful in the sport of running. I know it's natural for our society to kind of want the microwave answer, the microwave result, where you just kind of push a couple buttons and all of a sudden you're fast and you're famous and you're breaking records. I guess being a coach, being in the sport for a long time, I've realized early on that the people who were successful in this sport just didn't jump out of the womb and start running, sub 4-minute miles. I mean, it was a process, and I think if athletes could have the knowledge of what that process is and the willingness to go through that journey, and for a male distance runner, I mean, you're talking about 8 years of maturity, 8 years of post high school running, because physiologically it doesn't matter how fast you run in high school. It will never be the fastest that you could possibly run, just because you're just not old enough. You just don't have enough years in training. So that's why you notice that high school records do not mirror world records. World records 9 times out of 10 are run by men. Let's say if you're talking about men that are in their mid to late 20s. And the reason why, because it took years for them to develop that type of ability. And that's if everything went right. You're talking about genetic ability and training and the psychology of it, everything to become a champion. So I'm saying all this to say that as coaches, we would wish that younger coaches that are dealing with younger athletes, is to explain to them that what you're doing right now is great. You should just master what you're trying to do right now. That's your short-term goal. Your season, a particular race. Don't worry about what the future is going to bring, as long as you have a progression towards that. And that progression really lies within 3 things. It's the volume of training, the amount of training you do, or the duration, the amount of training you do at one bout of exercise, and the volume of what you do within a week, a month, a year, the intensity of the training, how hard you go at what time, and then how consistent are you in training. And if you have all those components, then if you work those components, then it doesn't matter what you're doing at that moment, particular time, as long as you master it. And once you master that, then you can take it to the next level, and then the volume, the duration, the intensity, and the consistency. Well, the consistency never really changes, but the volume, the duration, and the intensity will change based on what you did in the past. And it's kind of like what John Wooden says, one of the great coaches of all time. It's like you should try to be better than you were before, better than you were yesterday. And if you work on that premise, then you don't have to worry about the bigger picture. Whereas, like, okay, will I be an Olympian? Will I break a world record? Will I be a national champion? Will I be a state champion? Will I? It's the thing is, well, if you break it down to a smallest component of what are the principles of being successful, then if you master those things, then those dreams will come true. There's possibility. But it's a long process. When we watch a world record attempt, or we're watching a state championship race, or we're watching the Olympics or something, most people are watching the act. What I'm watching is, I'm just imagining how long and how much preparation and the training that went into that, because I can appreciate that, I can understand it, and most coaches can understand that. It's like, wow, they ran that fast, man, they've been at it for years. I mean, this is like, and you can see the progression, and you know what it took. So yeah, I would say that if I would wish that most athletes, when they set out to attempt these goals, that they would understand what it takes, you know, and the amount of preparation and time and dedication and commitment to attain those amazing feats, you know.